Hi, my name is Bob Grant, and you're about to see how a 41-year-old single mom named Anna with 3 small children went from being divorced, single, alone and hopeless, to having men constantly pursuing her everywhere, including the elevator, until she chose the one special man who stood out from all the others. The one man who promised to always love her and finally convinced her to be his forever. I'm also going to show you why so many of the things you've been told that attract a man are wrong. Why being positive and upbeat all the time actually makes him ignore your needs. Why never getting angry with him will actually make him become bored with you. And why giving him everything he wants will only make him take you for granted. You may not know that most men don't realize the unconscious triggers within themselves that create a deep desire for a woman. In fact, they actually tell women exactly the opposite of what they need. So I'm going to tell you exactly what a man wants, even though most men don't realize this themselves. Most men tell women that they want them to be more laid back and easygoing and not to complain. Yet that's just what Anna did before she started working with me, and the man she loved still left her, even though she gave him exactly what he told her he wanted. And because of her experience and hundreds of other clients in my private practice, I decided to take all of my clinical training as a licensed professional and began doing research to find the hidden emotional key that made a man want to connect with a woman on a deep emotional level and stay committed to her, even if she wasn't the prettiest, thinnest, or anything that Cosmo magazine said you should be. I've been doing this for over 15 years now, and I've cracked the bonding code and shared it with thousands of women. I even found research that spoke to this when I discovered the editor of Psychology Today, T. George Harris, who said that while money, looks, and social status make a woman more appealing, none of those compare to this one quality, which I'll share with you in this special presentation. Alfred Adler, who worked with Sigmund Freud, also described this almost mystical quality nearly 100 years ago that enabled a woman to captivate a man, almost without even trying. And yet so few women have ever been told about its truly hypnotic effect on men, until now. What is so amazing is that this works for you even if you don't have the body of a Victoria's Secret lingerie model, even if you're 21 or 55, even if you're tall, short, curvy, pencil thin, or whatever trait you feel holds you back from experiencing the love and attention from a man that you've always wanted. So I need you to pay close attention to this entire video right now, because if you miss just 1 second of what I'm about to share with you, just one part, this bonding code might not work. This is the exact same formula that I shared with Anna on our first visit. Yes, the same Anna I mentioned at the beginning, who was 41, divorced, and had 3 kids and no self-confidence to date. Let me tell you about Anna. 10 years earlier, she sat at a fancy restaurant with beautiful music playing when Tyler got up out of his chair, bent down on one knee, and asked her to be his forever. Stunned and speechless, she started to cry with tears of joy as she said yes to his proposal. When they were married, she knew she'd picked the right man for her and wanted to make sure she was the wife he had always wanted. So she did what she thought a man would like. She almost always agreed to his sexual advances while being both positive and upbeat most of the time. In fact, Tyler often bragged to other couples that she was one of the most giving women he had ever known. All seemed well until one fateful morning. As she was making her morning coffee, Tyler came into the kitchen and sat down at the table and waited. At first she thought nothing of this until she turned around and saw him staring off into space. "Anything wrong?" she innocently asked. For a moment he didn't say anything until he took a deep breath and uttered the words that punched her in the stomach. "I'm sorry, but I think we should separate." At that moment she found it suddenly hard to breathe as she forced the words to come out. But why? "I'm sorry," he said, "but I just don't think I'm in love with you anymore." The words cut her like a knife as a sense of both fear and numbness engulfed her. Desperately she wanted to talk with him, yet he said he had to leave, that they would discuss it later, but later never came that day. Tyler never offered her a reason except to say that something was missing and he couldn't stay with her any longer. In the coming days, her mind raced from thoughts of fear to anger and then back to fear as the questions kept racing through her mind. Was he having an affair? What had she done wrong that this was happening to her? If she could just understand, then she could fix it. But the understanding she wanted never came as she went from begging him to stay to accepting the cold reality that he would never return. After 3 months, she felt that she was going to drown in grief if she didn't talk with someone, so a friend referred her to me. After a few minutes sitting across from me, she paused, looked me in the eye, and asked, Bob, who's going to want a 41-year-old divorced woman with 3 small children? After losing the man who had promised to love her forever, I understood her doubts and fears. Fast forward 8 months, and you wouldn't recognize this same woman. One afternoon, she went to see her attorney and entered the elevator to his 14th floor. When she got in, she pushed the button for her floor and noticed a man who was busy talking to someone on his cell phone. As the elevator began its ascent, he stopped his call and glanced at her, then looked away. She felt a nervous twinge. Then not a moment later, she was shocked when he said, I'm sorry, but I don't normally do this. I don't know if I'll ever see you again, so I wanted to ask if I could call you sometime. As the elevator came to her floor, she just knew the look of complete shock was draped all over her face. But somehow she managed to say, thank you, but I'm afraid I've got to go. She tried to dismiss her experience as something random, until 2 weeks later at a friend's dinner party. She had reluctantly agreed to go and didn't feel especially social. Yet that evening, 2 men were captivated by her every word. The attention was almost overwhelming for her as each asked her when they could see her again. No longer was she broken and despondent, and in the coming weeks she had men calling her constantly and begging her to spend time with them. The doubts that had haunted her just a few months ago now seemed almost silly. So what happened that made this 41-year-old single mother of 3 go from being abandoned to suddenly sought after by over a dozen men? Everything began to change for her once she learned the secret, the hard way. What men tell you they want and what they actually want are often 2 entirely different things. As a woman, it is critical that you understand a man's emotional needs more than he does, or else he'll pull you into what I call the giving pit. This is the unconscious and destructive urge within a man that is only happy when you're doing something to please him. It is as dangerous as a vampire that drains the very life out of a helpless young woman. And here's the big trap. He will even say this is what he wants, but don't listen and don't give in. You must never fall into this pit. You know, where you give in to what he wants because you think it will make him happy, that it will keep him devoted to you, that it will make him love you. And here's what's tragic about this. As logical as that sounds, giving too much to a man doesn't make him love you. It will make him despise you, even though that's often exactly what a man tells you he wants. This is why I'm going to share with you something that is counterintuitive to everything even men tell you they want in a woman. Because if you let him keep pulling you down the path to the giving pit, you're actually increasing the chance that he might leave you. You see, the path is based on 3 common but deadly myths that I need to expose right now. Myth number 1, you must be accommodating so that he'll think you're easygoing and fun. But that doesn't work because it actually trains him to think you're willing to do whatever he wants. And what makes this so bad is that he'll just assume all you care about is his needs, his happiness, with nothing left for you. Kind of like you're his mother, doting on him, with your sole purpose focused on making sure he's happy. Myth number 2, you've been told never to get angry with a man because it's such a turnoff. But the truth is that never getting angry with a man actually makes him get bored with you. The reason is this. Men live by this motto. If you can't handle me when I'm rude or disrespectful, then you're too weak for me to ever trust you when I'm scared. Myth number 3, and the worst thing you've been told is that the more you give to a man, the deeper he'll love you. I'm sorry to tell you, but doing that will only lead to my deepest fear for you, that he'll take you for granted by only calling you when he's in the mood, having his desire for you go hot and cold for no apparent reason, and expecting you to be positive and upbeat all the time. For years, I've had to help my clients destroy these myths because I saw how it pulled them into the giving pit. Yet there were a few women that had a special quality that kept them out of this deep pit. One woman who had this quality was Rosa, who came to see me because of a family issue. But in our conversation mentioned that she was so tired of all these men hitting on me. Now that's something I didn't hear that often, so I took notice of why men would hit on her. Was she beautiful? Well, yes, but certainly not striking. She didn't especially dress girly and wasn't overly flirtatious. In fact, she didn't even know how she did it and certainly didn't try and attract men. But she had what I call the campfire effect. That effortless quality to glow and charm a man without even trying, without having to resort to weird games or skin-tight clothes, without having to give in to a man's demands just to please him, without having to worry about saying the wrong thing. What she described is almost identical to a few rare and mysterious women throughout history that have used this campfire effect to produce an almost dreamlike trance over men. Cleopatra is considered to be almost mythical in her beauty, but when I researched her I found something quite different. Her looks are never described as stunning or breathtaking like Helen of Troy, but what she possessed was an ability to charm men. She had a quality that was so powerful that men were willing to go to war for her if that's what she desired. A more modern example is the graceful Susan Levin. Perhaps you know her better as the wife of the famous actor Robert Downey Jr., who was thought to be untamable until he met her. His drug usage and womanizing is legendary, even by Hollywood standards. Yet after turbulent affairs with actresses Marissa Tomei, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Sarah Jessica Parker, and countless others, everything came crashing down one fateful day. Out of his mind on cocaine, he had wandered into his neighbor's home and fell asleep in her 11-year-old son's empty bed, but not before he had undressed to his underpants. Shortly after this, as fate would have it, he would meet the woman that would change his life forever. To this day, he admits that all of his success would mean nothing without her by his side. This is the power of the campfire effect, and as I began sharing its secrets with my clients, I started hearing them say things like this. I've had more attention in the last 3 months than in my entire life. The funnest part of it all is that I'm a 43-year-old single mother with 4 great kids, and I have yet to date a man over 33 since learning the campfire effect. Thank you, Tina Torkelson, Delaware. And what you taught actually worked. Mike and I plan to marry a small private mass at our church, Carrie Marie from Arkansas. And dear Bob, my boyfriend and I had a conflict over behavior that I felt was inappropriate. I spoke to him exactly how you taught me, and he was quiet and attentive to everything I said. In fact, he said to me, "What can I do so the next time I don't hurt you the way I hurt you tonight?" He really wanted to make me feel better. He wanted to please me. It was exactly how you described it would be. Sincerely, Natalie Morin. Now before I continue, I want to warn you. I'm giving away so much free relationship information that I may end up making this a paid presentation. So I'm not sure how much longer I can leave it up. So watch it on now while it's still online and it's still free. For the last 15 years, I've been teaching women about the mysterious heart-mind connection that produces the campfire effect. This effect makes a man not only notice you, but feel an irresistible desire to be close to you. Think about a campfire on a cool winter day. You can feel the warmth of the heat as your eyes are fixated on the dancing flames. It's so comfortable that you could stay there just looking into the fire for hours. That's what a man will feel when you learn to harness the power of the campfire effect. In fact, let me give you 3 quick tips you can use right now to get a taste of what's in store for you. Tip number 1. The secret to creating desire isn't to make a man feel good. It's to create tension. To make him so uncomfortable that he'll only feel better when he's with you. Remember, a man needs to feel that he caught you to be able to bond with you. Tip number 2. Never argue with a man, but not for the reason you think. The problem with arguing is that it's not powerful enough. When you're upset with him, you want him to not only understand you, but feel why you're upset. And I can show you how. Tip number 3. Always give back less to a man than you receive. For men, the prize isn't how much you give. It's being able to make you happy. When you try and give as much as he does, then you're innocently acting like a man. If you're not good at receiving, then you'll actually teach a man to stop giving to you. Now, I love helping people, but unfortunately, I only have time to work with so many women in my private practice. But I want to help even more. So I've taken all of my best insights that my clients have told me works again and again and put it into one amazing program. It's called The Woman Men Adore, and I created this proven 5-step process that has helped hundreds of my private clients go from tired and frustrated with men to having the man they've always wanted treat them with such passion and devotion that many tell me personally that it's exhilarating. In fact, what makes this program both powerful and life-changing is that I'll show you how to release those qualities within yourself that men simply can't resist. Whether you're single or married, you'll soon notice how men begin to look at you longingly and listen to your every word, all without having to play those silly relationship games that make you feel like you're in high school. Instead, you just need to follow my proven process in these 5 easy modules. Here's what's inside each one. In Module 1, I'll show you why all your efforts to be attractive, desirable, and appealing won't mean anything unless a man can feel this one emotional response from you. What I've discovered is that often women accidentally hide this quality and give men the impression that they're cold and detached. I'll explain this in detail in addition to showing you why 99% of women don't even realize the dangerous signals they send off to men that make them appear desperate. Hint, most women don't realize how easy it is to give a man the wrong impression. The critical mistake most women make when a man compliments them. It's such a turn-off that it can make a man go from being attracted to repulsed in just 1 second. 5 things men crave that women don't know about that create an unconscious connection with the man. It's so exhilarating that he'll find himself going out of his way just to be around you. The kiss of death in a relationship. Once this enters his heart, he is almost certain to leave you, unless you know this proven cure. Want to get him to open up? Just use these 3 words and watch him pour out his heart to you and only you. Inside Module 2, I'll share with you something that's completely counterintuitive to everything you've been taught about what makes a man look at you with love and desire. Inside, you'll learn how to make a man instantly drop what he's doing and listen to you whenever you're upset. The secret is how to tap into the one emotion that makes him feel that he can't rest until you're happy. Why words are for women, but men respond to something entirely different. In fact, when you use this magical tone, you'll make him powerless to refuse your request. It's so intoxicating, he'll feel like he's been hypnotized. He can't stop himself from saying yes. How to share your feelings with the man so he'll beg you to tell him more. Why trying to be his equal will kill the romantic spark, but doing this one thing will create sparks of passion in his eyes for you. How to respond when you're upset with a man so he'll listen to you. Why yelling, crying, and threatening doesn't work, but do exactly as I show you, and he'll not only listen to you, but actually feel your pain as well. Then in Module 3, you'll learn what to expect in the coming days and weeks as men suddenly begin noticing the difference in you, as you learn how to use an unconscious trigger that disarms a man and makes him want to come closer to you. One client used this and forgot to turn it off when suddenly a man in an elevator suddenly hit on her when she wasn't even paying attention to him. The 3-sentence techniques that renders a man powerless to resist your request. It works like a charm. All you have to do is say 3 sentences to him. I give you the exact word-for-word script. Tired of picking the wrong guys? You can know if he's worth giving your heart to, but only if you pay attention to this one personality clue. It's the most proven predictor of how he'll treat you in the future. Why being a little selfish actually makes you more adorable, and no, you won't become a witch, but only if you do it exactly how I show you. Then in Module 4, I'll give you detailed behaviors and tips that men find attractive that most women would never realize. Specifically, I'll show you the on-button game that will drive him wild with desire. What's more, you'll have him wrapped around your little finger when he begs you to play it over and over again. Want to make a man feel protective of you and attentive to your needs? You can, but only if you meet his deepest, almost primitive raw emotional need. He'll feel so addicted to you that he'll never even think of looking at another woman. Don't talk to him like he was one of your girlfriends. Do this instead. Use my reflective listening technique and watch his head turn towards you and hang on your every word. Part of your body that will make him fantasize about you, yet so many women hide it from him. No, it's not your breast, legs, or derriere. Use this part of your body to the hilt, and he'll be dripping with desire for you. How to instantly disarm a man with this simple change in how you speak to him. Well, no warning, you must use this one carefully. Then in Module 5, you'll learn how to keep this almost magical quality you have over men forever. From my experience, once you start getting more attention than you've ever had from men, it will feel exhilarating, and at times a little uncomfortable. Often my clients have fallen back into old patterns and habits, and to prevent that, this module will focus on the most critical areas, such as why helping your man is the worst thing you can do when he's upset. What he's really hoping is that you'll know how to say this magical phrase that melts his heart and makes him realize you are the only woman for him. How to make a man not only hear what you say, but feel it as well. It's so potent, every married woman will do anything to prevent their man from having you accidentally use it on him. The one thing you can wear that will make him notice you instantly, and no, it's not 6-inch heels or black lingerie. You probably have one of these in your closet and never realized its power to make the man you've always wanted notice you in a crowded room. What most women do accidentally that makes a man feel like you're his mother, and how to never let that happen to you. How to melt his anger so that he'll go from furious to cuddly in less than 5 minutes. And how to make all these changes last for the rest of your life without you having to work to maintain it. I've watched my private clients go from tired and discouraged to having more attention from men than they've ever experienced after going through these 5 modules. With specific real-life examples and practical tips and suggestions, you won't have to guess about what to do, because I've done all the work for you. It's so simple that here's what happened for these women who tried the woman men adore. Paige used the on-button technique, and suddenly her husband began asking her how he could help out around the house. Cynthia realized that she had been using the #1 relationship killer on all of her boyfriends, and by making one simple change, married the next man she dated. Gretchen was using the unconscious trigger and found herself being approached by a gentleman in a hotel lobby. Her words to me were, "Wow, that has never happened to me before." I've heard these stories from my clients for years as they've gone through the Woman Men Adore program, and many have paid over $1,000 to have me personally teach them what I'm offering you. The reason they continue to come to see me as a client and tell their girlfriends to come see me is simple. What I teach works like nothing else. So when I created this program, I wanted to make it affordable for as many women as I could, and we decided to offer a deep discount of 80% for the low price of $197. In fact, for the level of training that you'll receive, this is just a fraction of the true value for the Woman Men Adore. But even with that, I want every woman to have a man's undying devotion. So I'm going to make this even easier for you, because I've seen the results for myself in person, from women who suddenly experience the love and attention from men that they've always hoped for. I want to make sure you have the same chance to experience this for yourself. Even though this life-changing program is greatly discounted at $197, I'm going to take away any excuse you have for not giving it a try. So I'm going to offer this package not for $97, not even for $67. Now, if you act now, I'll give you the complete training for just $47. Yes, I realize I'm offering this at a fraction of what my private clients typically pay, and that it's only 80 cents a day to just try the Woman Men Adore. That's less than you spend on a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and it can all be yours now simply by clicking on the Order Now button below. So why would I make such a generous offer? Because every week I meet with women who have their heart broken by the man they loved, or with others who can't find a man who wants to commit to them. I have to look in their eyes and watch the pain as they describe what it's like to have a man leave them, and they don't know why. When I was seeing 45 clients a week, I realized that I simply couldn't meet with everyone that wanted my help, even though the need was so great. I've seen too many women blindsided when the man they gave their heart to unexpectedly told them that he no longer loved them, and they never saw it coming. I don't ever want that to happen to you. In fact, to prove to you, I'll even give you my 60-day risk-free, you'll get your money back if you don't get the results you want, 100% money-back guarantee. Just try the Woman Men Adore for 60 days and see for yourself if you don't start having men looking at you more intently and listening to your every word. If it's not worth at least 10 times more than what you paid for it, or if you're not 100% satisfied within 60 days, I'll refund your entire purchase price. No questions asked. I'm so confident that the Woman Men Adore will give you the same results that my private clients have experienced that I'll even take all the risk for you. All you need to do is click on the Order Now button below. Now, because I have both single and married women watching this video at any given time, I want to assure you that yes, this program works for both types of women. That's why I've created these unique bonuses that are focused on your specific situation. Bonus number 1 is the Single Woman Quick Change Guide. If you're single, this guide shows you how the Woman Men Adore can be applied in different situations with single men. I'll show you what men find appealing, what gets so many single women in trouble, how a man approaches a relationship differently than a woman, and why that's often fatal to your relationship if you don't understand this. This guide will give you the blueprint to not only start attracting the kind of man you're interested in, but who will stay devoted to you for the long haul. And I'll also show you how to get past those games that single men play. Bonus number 2, the Married Woman Quick Change Guide. So many wives and girlfriends have confided to me how attentive the man they love was early in their relationship. His passion for them seemed endless, but once he got them, it just seemed to fade away. What's sad is that these women don't realize how desperately their man longs for that same passion as well. Inside this bonus, I'll show you his deepest emotional need and how you can fulfill it so he'll do almost anything to keep you happy. How to talk to him in such a way that he looks at you with desire, like he did in the beginning. The one thing so many wives forget once they get married that slowly destroys the romance in their marriage, and how to reactivate his passion button almost effortlessly. In fact, once his desire for you is awakened, you might find it hard to turn your man off. Bonus gift number 3. I'll even include a bonus option, a free 30-day trial to the Woman Men Adore Club, where I will work with you and a select group of other smart and successful women so you can ask me questions about your most pressing relationship need. With video instruction and access to the members-only forums, I'll be right with you, side by side, as you apply these life-changing principles. These bonuses alone are worth over $100, but I'm giving them to you free just for trying the Woman Men Adore program today. So now we're at a crossroads, because only 2 things can happen from here on out. A, You can ignore this video and stay right where you are now, always wondering if you missed your chance to be loved and cherished by that one special man you were meant to be with. It's the kind of love and devotion that you deserve, and you could miss it by simply doing nothing. Or you could make the one decision that could change your life, where you let me take all the risk and try the woman men adore and discover what really makes a man bond with you on a deep emotional level. But I offer this warning. The one thing I've seen again and again is that if you don't make a decision to change right now, it's very unlikely you ever will. That's why I'm stretching out my hand with the key to unlocking a man's heart. But you have to take this gift I'm offering you. All you need to do to make that happen is to hit the Order Now button below this video.
It's delicious.